What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new league racing video on the channel here today. We're back for something a little bit different again this time. We're here for EML once again, but it's not the Premier Series. It is actually for EML F1, which is basically a new no assist league which has started up running 8 PM UK time, which translates to 7 AM for me over here, I think. So yeah, it's quite early, but you know, when I heard it was basically fully no assists, yeah, I jumped in at the first chance I got. So we're driving the Merc for this season. There's a quick rundown of the calendar. Obviously starting off here at Australia, then we go to Bahrain, back through Canada, and etc. So yeah, coming into this one, I was pretty confident that I definitely had the pace to win this race, but having the pace and actually getting it done, two completely separate things, because over the last few weeks I've been struggling to actually convert the race pace into results. Obviously TTML from Baku, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Was running in third position, I think it was, quite comfortably, until I crashed and knocked part of my front wing off. So I think we ended up fourth in the end in that race, but we definitely had the pace to win. TNF1 Australia that started up just over a week ago. We definitely should have won that race, but again, just a few mistakes, so we threw that one away. So hopefully we can try and avoid some of that here for the season opener here at Australia. But as you can see, the start of qualifying, that really doesn't look like it's going too well, does it? We invalidated our first run at the very first corner. So yeah, that kind of put me off a bit for the whole session, I won't lie. But luckily we have gone for the softer tyre selection, so we've got 4 sets of softs, so that didn't really bother me all too much. We come back in, put a new set of boots on the car, and we set our banker lap of a 118.9. Not too bad for a banker, but yeah, obviously we can definitely go a hell of a lot quicker. So out for our second run now, currently just over 2 tenths up as we come into the fast chicane, but we invalidate through the second part there on the right hander. So easy to do, and yeah, unfortunately that just bit us there. Still top of the timesheets, by the way, as well, on our banker lap of an 18.9, which is quite surprising. But I was absolutely certain that that was not going to be enough for pole position. You can see everybody's out on their final runs now. I personally reckon the best time that you're going to see is probably an 18.7 from the competition. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but let's ride on board for our fastest lap, shall we? Alright, and here we come up to the line. We're going to improve by 4.5 tenths. We come across for a 118.506. That is enough for pole position here for the Australian Grand Prix. A decent lap. Certainly not going to sit here and say that that was perfect, because I'd been doing 18.3s in practice, and about 10 minutes before invites were actually sent out, I actually did an 18.2. So I know there was more time in that lap, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. We've gotten pole by 2.5 tenths over M Short in the Williams, and our teammate Venom in the Merc in P3, Lars P4 in the Williams as well. So Mercedes powered front row lockout and second row lockout as well. So yeah, there you go. But anyway, over to the race now. Having a look at the strategy. I'm going to start on softs, obviously. It's what you have to do when you're in the 10. But we're going to pit around about lap 7 or 8. Well, that's when the game recommends a pit stop, but the game recommends a lot of things which you're better off ignoring majority of the time. So yeah, we'll make our own call on what lap we're going to pit. I am thinking lap 7, because the hards will go quite easily about 20 to 22 laps around here. I've seen people pit from lap 6 before, and they've made it home without too many dramas. So we'll be aiming to do something like that. Obviously, the major aim is to start this season right and win our home race here. We've done the first part of the job right. We've gotten pole position, but now we've got to try and finish it off. Not as easy as it sounds, mind you. We've got some quick guys behind us. As I said, M Short, our teammate Venom, Lars and Vettel there as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on them. But 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. And away we go for the season opener. Looks like a pretty decent start compared to M Short, but our teammate Venom with a blinder of a launch. I actually tried to come across some cover, but I actually covered a bit late there, and we made a little bit of contact. No damage, I think, thankfully, to his car. So we continue on. We maintain the lead off the start. Venom up into second. Lars is up into third. M Short has had an absolutely abysmal start here at Australia. He's down to fourth now with Vettel all over him in the Ferrari. So not the greatest start for the Williams driver there, but for the Mercedes boys, that couldn't have gone much better. We're up into first and second. Well, I say up into first and second. Venom's up into second. We have maintained the lead. So yeah, very nice. But virtual safety car halfway around lap 1. I'm not too sure what that was for. I think there's actually been a crash there at the back. So yeah, that's an interesting spot to end your race. You can see on the mini-map there. I don't think I've ever seen a car crash there. So yeah, that's a new one for me. But anyway, start of lap 2. The VSC stayed out for a long time, actually, a lot longer than what I thought it would. But yeah, at the start of lap 2, eventually it disappeared and we're back racing. So yeah, just trying to get the hammer down now, trying to get away from Venom and Lars behind. I wanted to try and break out of that 1 second window if I could, so they couldn't get DRS, because there's been so many occasions for me where I felt like I'm quite a bit quicker than the people that are following me, but DRS is just so powerful, and anyone who plays this game at even like a semi-professional level would tell you this, that if you can stay within that 1 second window, it is just so beneficial for your race. And as you can see here, the start of lap number 4, we tried to pull away, didn't quite work. Venom actually had a pretty solid pace, I won't lie. Lars was falling back ever so slightly, but I think from memory he was conserving his ERS massively. I think he still had like 90% or something. So yeah, he was burning absolutely nothing, which if anything makes his pace more impressive than what it actually looks. But anyway, on to lap 5. No major changes. M Short still in 4th, Lars 3rd, Venom 2nd. We're still leading. But on to lap 6, as we come through the chicane, we get a little bit wide on the exit, and we are out of the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Not really too sure what happened there, to be honest. I mean, I felt like I turned in at the normal point, but yeah, we just seemed to understeer it a little bit. Caught the grass on the exit, and that was the end of that. So from leading, I don't want to say comfortably, but from having a bit of a gap in the lead and sitting fairly comfortably, at the front of the field. We now find ourselves almost outside the top 10 in P8. So we're going to come in, put a set of hard tyres on. A lap earlier than what I wanted, but they should still make it to the end without too many issues. If there's any safety cars or VSCs, that will only help us in you know, getting these to the end. So yeah, rejoin in all the way down in 15th position. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we've definitely got our work cut out for us now. As you can see, the car's squirming underneath us there. Hard tyres, just got no temp, no grip. But anyway, we got these new set of tyres heated up fairly quickly. Now we're on the move, trying to make up for all of the lost ground that that we have. So what are we doing here? We're trying to catch up to XL Neo in the Red Bull. He's got a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, that will affect him a little bit towards the end, but hopefully we won't get held up too much behind him, and indeed we don't. The second we get to him with DRS activated, straight down the inside there in the 3rd sector, job done up into P14. Next up is M Short in the Williams. Now this is basically a true indicator of the ground that we've lost, because M Short was like a solid 4 seconds behind us, I think, almost. And at that point in time, we were almost 4 seconds behind him. So we've lost almost 10 seconds because of that spin. So that just shows how costly one little mistake was. We just ran a little bit wide. But yeah, get onto the grass there and it'll make you pay. And it definitely did that to us. So yeah, anyway, we got past, I think that was a racing point of Creaser there. I've probably botched that pronunciation, sorry buddy if I have. But anyway, on to lap 11 now. Closing up to the back of M Short, you've got was that a McLaren off to the left there? I'm not too sure. But anyway, I think they have retired or something. And now we got another virtual safety car, second one of the race. So yeah, that's interesting, but crucially, it has not worked out well for us, because what that has done has gifted quite a few people a free pit stop essentially, and we're going to come out side by side with a Renault here down into turn 1. That was very sketchy. I was trying to get a run on M Short, but I also had to leave the space because I knew the Renault was there on the inside. If I turned in, I was probably going to clip his front wing, and it probably would have just turned me around and sent me off into the wall. And we've already done it once. I really don't want to do it again. So if we can avoid that at all costs, that'll be great. But yeah, anyway, a bit later on into lap 12, following M Short now, we're going to try and get the move done on the Williams man here if we can. You see, I actually had to check up and hit the brakes there a little bit because he was lagging really badly, and I was afraid I was actually going to run into him and get damaged, but luckily that doesn't happen. We get past the Williams driver and we are now back up into P6. So next up is another one of the XL drivers, and then Vettel, who does have a 3-second time penalty up there in P4. So on the lap 15 through turn 1, that is a 3-second time penalty for our efforts. That is not going to help us at all. But we get a run on the Red Bull, who is on medium tyres as well, worth mentioning. But we go round the outside. Very nicely done. We just about leave him enough room. I don't think there was any contact, or if there was, it was minimal. But we threw up into P5. Next up, Vettel, who does have a 3-second penalty as well. So this is effectively a on-track fight for P4. You can see that the XL driver in the Red Bull has nothing. So does the second TTG driver about 5 seconds up the road. So at the moment, looks like 4th is really all we can hope for. So we're going to try and get it. Round the outside of Vettel here on lap 17, a tiny bit of contact there, and that has, not really too sure what to say there. I think there's a little bit of lag, desync involved in that, because as you can see there on our POV, we never really touched him, but yeah, on his screen I think he's obviously touched us, and he's yeah, kind of lost it and been forced to check up. So yeah, that's not ideal, but anyway, we're through into P4. cut on quite a few laps later. Our pace was really impressive, and we've reeled in these top 3 with about 7-8 laps to go. And there is a spin for the TTG driver in the Alfa Romeo. Contact with Lars in the Williams there. And now we are back up into the podium position somehow. I'm not really too sure how this works or how we've gotten ourselves here, but anyway. So, yeah, back up into the podium, which is very nice. What's not so nice is that is our second warning, one more, and we will have 6 seconds worth of penalties. So we've got to be a little bit careful, otherwise we might not even actually finish in P3 at this rate. So, anyway, on to lap 25. We're going to try and line up Lars for a move down here into turn 2. We haven't got a lot of ERS, but he hasn't either. You can see the light flashing on the back of the Williams car there. But unfortunately, no way through for us at this moment in time. You can see our teammate Venom still leading 2 seconds up the road there. He has done a very good job so far in this race, but he does have a 3-second time penalty, so that could make things rather interesting. But anyway, on to lap 25, it's still trying to get past Lars here, but nothing really working for us at the moment. As you can see though, if you look to the top left of your screen, we do now have 6 seconds worth of penalties. We got another warning through that chicane, so yeah, not ideal. But anyway, on to lap 26, down the turn 2, we're going to try go round the outside of the Williams driver, but he pushes us out wide onto the curb. We lose traction and he hangs on to P2. I will be the first to admit I wasn't too impressed with that, to be honest. I thought he might try and leave a bit more room than that, but he seems determined to fight this on track as we get very sideways out of that left-hander there, almost throwing away all the hard work we've done up to this point. On to lap 28, we're right under the rear wing of the Williams driver once again, so we're going to try again to get this move done. Down to turn 2, we're quite a way back. He does defend momentarily. I think about a dive down the inside, but I decide against it. He was probably going to turn in, so it just would have ended in contact. So, yeah, not ideal, but anyway, we're following through now for these next few corners, as you can't really pass through here unless you have a massive pace advantage or the guy in front of you makes a catastrophic error. You can see Venom actually looking a little bit slower at this point of the race as well, as we are catching him. He does have a 3-second time penalty, so at the moment it looks like we're going to get second and third, which will still be a good start to the season. But yeah, definitely threw away a real good shot at a win today. But anyway, while I'm rambling on about all that, we're going to try and have another go here at Lars. This might be our final chance. We go round the outside just like we did to Vettel, but we lose it on the curb. We're in the wall and we are out of the race. Damn. I really don't know what to say about that, to be honest. Yeah, that's a real bummer, isn't it? Just over a lap away from a definite podium finish, and instead we get absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's not really ideal. Lars in P2 there, he has been able to carry on, but unfortunately for us, right rear tyre gets knocked off and we are not going to finish the season opening race here at Australia. And I will be the first to admit, I was actually quite annoyed when that happened, because I felt like Lars just left me no room. And if you look on his POV, it certainly does look like he squeezed me a little bit, but you know, I can't completely point the finger at him. I mean, I lost traction on the curb. I've run into his right rear as a result of the traction loss, and that has basically sent both of us off. I will admit I was, you know, kind of annoyed or confused as to why he was trying to fight me so hard, as, you know, obviously he didn't have a penalty. Venom had 3 seconds, I had 6, and, you know, I was still trying to go guns a-blazing to win the race on track. But, you know, he's entitled to fight for his position. He did exactly that, and unfortunately it ended in contact. There was no steward's investigation into that either, well, not that I'm aware of anyway. And yeah, nothing has been done about it. But yeah, that's That's a real shame. We definitely should have had a podium in that race, but yeah, stuff like that happens sometimes, I guess. Alright, so there we go guys, that's been today's video, round 1 of EML F1, the new No Assist League. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, I'm sorry that that didn't really work out there at the end. Yeah, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I mean, me personally, at the point in time, I felt like he squeezed me, but I can't really sit there and say that was all on him after watching it back. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you all again for the next one very soon. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.